Ever After High is a animated series that came out in 2013. I watched it on Netflix, but I believe it was also a web series. And the basic premise is a bunch of kids go to a magical high school, and the whole gimmick is that they are the children of famous fairy tale characters. The two main characters are Raven and Applewhite, who are the daughters of the Evil Queen and Snow White from Snow White. And there's a whole bunch of other cool characters too, who are the sons and daughters of a bunch of different fairy tale characters. And overall, the premise of Ever After High is really cool, but it was cut short in around 2015 or 2016 with the release of Disney's Descendants, which has a very similar concept. Teenagers go to a high school and they're the children of famous fairy tale characters, specifically Disney characters. And so Ever After High was really overshadowed by Descendants, and even though it was pretty popular, it didn't really get to be expanded on and developed the way that it deserved. I think it's actually been taken off of Netflix by now, but before it was, I watched all of the little mini-series that it had. You know, there was a Homecoming one, there was a Dragon one, I think. I don't know, it's been a while. And like a lot of these different animated shows that are geared towards little girls, they were primarily based on or made to market a line of fashion dolls. And Ever After High is no different. There was a line of pretty high quality fashion dolls that were pretty one-to-one with the series itself. And that's always impressive because fashion dolls based on animated series can be varying in quality. But because the designs were made to be translated into fashion dolls, they're very, I guess the best word I would be looking for is glamorous. And so similar to the Equestria Girls, I will be redesigning two of the characters today to make their designs fit more with their personality rather than their marketability. So I have a feeling that this is going to be one of my more divisive redesigns in a way. And the only reason I say that is because this might be the most I've ever changed an outfit of a character, and the outfit makes the vibe of the entire character. So I feel like the vibes for both of these characters ended up changing a lot, and I feel like a lot of you are really not gonna like that. Because the Ever After High characters are based on fashion dolls, right? Well, they're not based on fashion dolls, but they were made to sell fashion dolls, and so the characters are pretty much one-to-one with how the dolls were produced. And I have to give them credit for that, because unlike other franchises like Equestria Girls where the dolls were pretty bad, Ever After High actually managed to have some really high quality dolls that are extremely close to how they appear in the show. And that's what little kids want, right? They want the characters that they're seeing on screen. But I redesign characters primarily based on their function in the story and their personality and not their marketability, if that makes sense. So my redesigns are not intended to be replacements for the designs of the dolls, just the characters in the show. And that being said, they look a lot less glamorous in my redesigns. Because they're not supposed to be translated into fashion dolls, I wanted them to more closely adhere with their role in the story, and their role in the story are high school students. Specifically high school students at a fantasy school, but high school students nonetheless. And that's why I feel like these designs are gonna be kind of divisive, because I feel like a lot of you are not going to like the fact that I took away their glamorous aspect and put them into more boring quote-unquote outfits. And I can already smell the comments telling me that I took away all of their appeal and now they're just boring and realistic and nobody would want to watch a show with these character designs, which, one, is rude, and two, like I already explained, these are not meant to be translated into fashion dolls. I want my redesigns to still be appealing but also practical. And the outfits that the Ever After High characters have, while they are amazing and I feel like they're well designed, they're not practical. They're not something that high schoolers would wear, even in a fantasy setting. And so you can disagree all you want. If you've made redesigns, I would love to see them. But if you're going to comment about the fact that I made them less glamorous or less appealing just because I put them in different outfits, That was the point, so I don't need you to tell me. And speaking of responding to comments before I actually start talking about the redesign itself, I said in a previous video of mine, I think maybe the Yandere Simulator Boys video, that if your comment is rude, I'm not going to respond to it, and that I can't take criticism because of it, which, number one, I'm not entitled to respond to every single comment that I get, and oftentimes I don't. I actually don't respond to comments a lot anymore. And long story short, I got a specific comment that was this whole long paragraph about how I can't take criticism and how my channel is supposed to be an open space for discussion, and by posting my art on the internet, I am opening it for critique, whatever. And the fact that that comment completely misunderstood what I was saying felt to me like I needed to make it clear what exactly I'm talking about. Just because I don't respond to your comment, that doesn't mean I thought the comment was rude, okay? I'm not entitled to respond to every single comment. Y'all don't know me, and I don't know you, okay? I'm talking about comments that are specifically mean-spirited and have no criticism to offer. I'm not saying y'all shouldn't critique me and that my art is above criticism, because I literally never said that. This comment just annoyed me because y'all think I can't take criticism? I ask for it at the end of literally every video. I say, tell me what you think, and people tell me what they think, and I enjoy it. Just because I don't respond to your comment doesn't mean I thought it was rude, okay? Moving on. Lately, I feel like I've gotten into the habit of talking about things not related to the redesign at the beginning part of the video, which is not my intention, and I'm sorry. I just have a whole lot of things to say. Anyways, talking about the actual redesign, as you can see from the line art here, I've definitely given Raven a different silhouette entirely. Her original outfit was very 2013, 2014 homecoming dress, and while I appreciate the sentiment, I don't really like it very much. Raven's outfit is actually one of my least favorites in the show. Not that I dislike Raven's design, I just don't like her dress very much. As much as I wish that they had pushed her goth side a little bit more in her main outfit, they definitely try to in her future outfits, but in her introduction outfit, it's very toned down, very much goth middle schooler who's really not allowed to dress emo because of their parents' rules, and so this was the closest thing they could get in order to go to their homecoming dance. And as much as I would love to focus on the goth aspect of her design, because I want to lean in more to the fact that they are high schoolers going to high school, I decided to put her into a kind of school uniform outfit. Not an actual uniform, but just something more formal that would be acceptable to wear to school, like she's trying to adhere to a dress code. I also tried to add a little bit of a bird motif into her clothes because there's kind of like a hint of one in her original outfit, but because her name is Raven, I feel like they should have pushed the Raven aesthetic a little bit more. And so at the bottom of her vest and in the shape of the bottom of her sleeves, I included a little feather design. It's kind of subtle, but I like it. I think it adds to it. And also on the lapels of her vest too. Is that what that's called? For her hair, I kept it mostly the same because I like the unique, like, I don't know how to explain it, but like her hairline. I like that it shows a lot of her forehead because you don't really see that a lot. I just like the way her hair is pulled back, I mean. But because my style is a little bit more exaggerated and leans more towards anime in the hair regard, I decided to give her like bangs that she's kind of pulled back. I think it makes the upper part of her silhouette a little bit more interesting, especially in this outfit where there's not a whole lot going on in terms of silhouette. And as far as her little crown headband thing goes, I changed it into like a sort of clip in the back of her head that has spikes coming out, and I thought that that could add to her silhouette as well. I wanted to add more spikes, but I figured, like I said, she's kind of appealing to a dress code, so she's trying to make sure that her accessories don't get her dress coded, and so this was as far as she could go with the spikes. As far as her colors go, I actually tried to cool down the purple that she's got because she's got a very warm purple magenta color scheme going on, especially in her hair, which I think is interesting. I definitely think that that's an interesting way to go, but since she's supposed to be, you know, more cool tone to Apple's more warm tones, I wanted to cool down the purple a bit. And by cooling down her color scheme, I just kind of took out that magenta color because I don't really like magenta. But overall, she ended up staying a lot more monotone than Apple did, and I feel like that fits with their personalities. And last minute, I felt like her outfit was missing a little bit of something, so I actually added in an accent in the form of these green gems that I gave her on a little chain hanging off of her skirt, as well as a necklace. I think I forgot to mention this, but I also made her eyes green. Originally they were purple, and I think I've talked about this before. I hate it when a character has the same color eyes and hair. And I don't mean when like their hair is like a dark purple and their eyes are like a light purple for contrast. No, I mean when they are the exact same shade of the same color. It looks bad. I'll say it. It looks bad. And obviously that's just my opinion. But I think there are infinite colors, and you just chose the exact same color as the hair, especially because the eyes and the hair are so close to each other. I don't like it. It looks tacky. The eyes are a perfect place to add a contrasting color to the hair, like green. All of that is just to say, I gave her green as a contrasting color. Yes, I realize that makes her look like Mal from Descendants. I don't care. Don't comment it, because I know. I don't care. The only other thing I have to note is I gave her little wings on the straps of her shoes just to incorporate the bird element a little more because I thought they were really cute. Anyways, here is Raven Queen. I really like how she came out. I know some of you aren't going to, but I like it, and that's all that matters. Now, Apple White. What is there to say about Apple White? I don't think I could describe Apple as a mean girl because I don't think that she's mean. I think she's a little bit self-centered sometimes, but I don't think that she's mean-spirited like other mean girls could be. She's used to the world revolving around her, and so she thinks that that is the status quo when it's not. And so she just has a lesson to be learned, a wake-up call, if you will. She has a character arc to go through, and that's good. But I do understand Apple's motivations a little bit, because if Raven doesn't follow her destiny, then Apple won't get her happily ever after in the way that she's supposed to. And Apple's afraid of change, right? She's used to everything being a certain way, and so she doesn't want to figure out if there's a different part of her destiny, or if she can find another way to have another happily ever after. No, she wants the destiny that she's been promised. And honestly, I can relate to that a little bit. Not to go off on a tangent, but I've always been a gifted kid, so I've always been told that I would live up to a certain ideal and I would have everything that I wanted if I just worked hard enough for it, because I could do anything that I put my mind to. And so when things change, as they always are, because we live in an ever-changing world, I don't like it, because I'm not used to change. When I was younger, I was used to things being handed to me. I was used to everything coming easy. And when things stopped coming easy, I would get frustrated, like Apple is. Am I calling Apple a gifted kid? No, because Apple White is not the brightest bulb in the box. And even though she is selfish and self-centered, that's something that she has to grow out of. That's something that I had to grow out of. And so I relate to her a little bit more than people tend to on the internet. I feel like I have a little bit more sympathy for her than most people tend to. And so I wanted to make Apple look as perfect as she thinks that she is, right? And I feel like this is definitely what they were going for in the main show, but I feel like we missed the mark a little bit. Once again, the show came out in 2013, so they are very much giving 2013. But what I don't understand is the heavy inclusion of dark colors like gray and black in her design. Maybe not heavy, but quite prevalent, and I think that's interesting. Is it a reference and maybe foreshadowing to Apple's darker side later in the series? Maybe. Do I think it works particularly well with her character design and her personality? No. But that's okay, that's what I'm here for, that's why I'm redesigning. I wanted Apple to look perfect, like a candy apple, right? Everybody loves her, she's sweet as pie. I wanted her to look like a little sweetheart, okay? And even if she isn't, you know, revealed later in the series or later in the first episode, that's still the persona that she wants to portray to people, right? That she's perfect, she's sweet as can be. And I actually think her original silhouette is pretty good. I like her hair, I pretty much like the shape of her skirt and her sleeves. I think all of those are fine. Definitely made to cater to a certain audience of fashion doll enthusiasts. but fine. The most important thing is that her silhouette is very round, lots of curves, right? Because she's an apple. I don't think that they needed to literally go apple shaped with her dress, but that's whatever. Instead of like baddie with like a bold red lip and high heels kind of thing that she's got going on in her original design, I wanted her to look, you know, sweet and innocent and charming, like she could bat her eyelashes at you and get whatever she wanted. So I kept her sleeves round, I kept her skirt pretty round. I don't really enjoy, you know, fluffy skirts like that, but I kept it as round as I was willing to. And I made her hair just the tiniest bit more exaggerated and curly because I thought that it added to the sweet look. And I took that stupid crown headband off of her head because it's weird and I don't like it. I replaced it with, say it with me now, a ribbon. I love my bows, okay? They give a strong silhouette and they're cute. You can slap them anywhere, okay? Bows are so cute. And also, there's tons of princesses at this school. She doesn't need to go parading around the fact that she's a princess because everybody's a princess there, so she doesn't need a crown. I ended up using the bow motif all throughout her design, similar to how I did with my Princess Peach design last time I went bow crazy with a character. I mean, I really don't have a whole lot to say. I feel like her design kind of speaks for itself. I wanted to go similarly with something that she could wear to school. If you really want more Ever After High redesigns, my friend Jordan actually made a really good video that definitely inspired this video, so you should definitely go check it out. It's short and sweet. I've watched it like 50 times, okay? Especially if you're looking for a full-on goth raven. Jordan did that excellently, okay? Go watch the video right now, okay? Anyways, when it came to Apple's colors, I mean, I went with the obvious picks, red and pink. I actually incorporated a lot more pink into her design than I was intending to. A lot of the lighter reds that I was using ended up leaning more towards pink, but I feel like it works. I don't think she has to be literally all red in order to read as, you know, apple coated. So I used red and gold as the accents in order to look more apple-like, and I feel like that works a lot better. She did end up looking a lot like Princess Peach, but I mean, Princess Peach is peak, so I also kept her eyes blue. I like that they contrasted her blonde hair. I wanted to add more blue into the design, but I just didn't get the chance to. But I feel like her warm color palette contrasts really nicely with Raven, especially with the green and the gold and the red, so I feel like they contrast very nicely with each other. That being said, here is my apple white. I think she's really cute. I think she looks a lot like Heather Chandler from Heathers, but I mean, it kind of fits, so I'm not complaining. It's time for the outro, which is where I talk about most of the stuff that you don't care about. So if you don't care about it, I'll see you in my next video. Bye. For the people who do care about the stuff that I have to say in the outro, thank you for sticking around. I think I'm almost at 80,000 subscribers now, which is crazy. A year ago now, I think I was maybe at 10 or 20K last September, I mean, but 3 months before that, I hadn't even posted a single video. And even though there are some months where there are more of you than others, I trust that my videos will appear on your YouTube page whenever you need them. And if my videos do make you happy, I hope that you're subscribed. And if they make you really happy, I hope you make another account and subscribe again. And if you want to support me even further, right now I have a Patreon. I've been pretty slow with updating it, but I promise I'm working on it. Or if you want something a little more tangible, you can always buy a sticker. I sell tons of different sticker designs in my shop. I'm really proud of them. I'd really appreciate if you'd go take a look. But as always, if you can't support financially, that's okay too. Just watching this video helps me out so much more than you know. If you're watching this video when it releases, I believe my commissions are also still open. So if you're interested in getting a custom piece of art from me, I'll probably only have them open for the next month or two, so go to my VGen, which is linked in the description, and get a commission, or if the waitlist is open, you can join the waitlist, I don't know. Or if you're watching this like 3 months after it comes out, I announce when I open my commissions in my Discord server. All of these wonderful ways you can support me, as I hope I've supported you with my videos. I hope they make you happy, because they make me happy. As always, thank you so much to my $10 patrons, Puntastic Artist, Little Wolfine, Viyun, Gar, and Zigo Buzz, as well as every single one of my other patrons. That's gonna be it from me. As always, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Leave a suggestion on what you want me to redesign next. I'm trying to get back into doing more redesigns. So if you have something that you are dying to see me draw, leave a comment and I will put it in the list. I think that is going to be it from me. As always, I've been Lucky Inkiio, and I will see you very soon.